Hi, everyone. I'm just going to send you a quick note about this week's assignment. It's actually Martin Luther King Day, so it's not really a school day. Um, so I'm going to share the screen. We're going to look at this week's assignment and go from there. All right, so share screen and okay, so here we go. Let's take a look. Oh, I see that two people have emailed me. A couple of you did not submit just like two or three of you did not submit the Google Doc accurately. I have to be able to edit it and it has to come up. I have to have access to it, of course. So I've sent you instructions on multiple areas, but if you don't look at your stuff, there's nothing I can do. I emailed it, I put it on the class notes, it's in the syllabus, how to do the Google Doc share. Okay, so let's look at the assignments for this week. So we go to modules. And then since this is the first unit, here we go. You've done this, here we go. Week 2, free write. So this one, there's two things that are due on Wednesday. Free writing just means that I'm going to give you some sort of topic and then you just write loosely in whatever way you want to generate ideas. You don't worry about spelling and all of that. Now, a couple of you, I helped a little bit with some editing just to give you a sense. Like I can tell already, like some of you are a little unclear about punctuation or how to join sentences, which is a big deal, which we'll talk about later. But it never really accounts for your grade, the technicalities of the writing. This is all just practice when it's these assignments. It's only when it's the final essay that I really have to grade you on exactly what the level of the content is. So at this point, every time you do something, I'm just going to try to give you feedback that'll help you. In free writing, you're just trying to be loosey-goosey, get some ideas. Oh, there should be a picture there. Don't know quite what happened there. Oh, I'll have to check that. This is always good to know. There's a picture of a black and white pit bull, which I'll try to put back in. Oh, let me see if I can do it. There it is. Anyway, you're just going to write 250 words on the topic, and then these are ideas. Sometimes I come up with questions to prompt you a little bit. So have you ever been stereotyped? When people stereotype you, what do they think about you? You know, what do you think they think about you? Or write about pit bulls. They're a classic stereotyped dog. And I know for a fact that many of you have not one dog, but two. Those about yous were so fun. Everyone had cats and dogs, and not one, but two. Many of you were doubling down on the canines and the felines. What about golden retrievers? They have a different stereotype. So the first TED Talk and written text that we're going to look at, it's a speech, it's a talk, and it's on the topic of stereotypes. So that's kind of a fun one. So to get started, we often generate ideas on that topic by free writing. Okay, so, and then I said, what's a show that you stream regularly? What does it say about you? What if somebody walked in the room and they saw what you were watching? Would they have a lot of ideas about you? Now, I'm just giving you different angles. You can write about any of those, all of them, however you want to construe it. Free writing is pretty free, but it's generalized onto that topic. Okay. Speaking of generalizing, try not to generalize to the point where you're not actually talking about something or writing about something specific. I mean, if you're writing about a show or a dog, write about exactly what it looks like and what the content is and why it would be something someone would stereotype. And then here we have the rubrics. That's how that's how you get credit. You just have to meet the word count and you're understanding the prompt. Okay. So that should be ready to go. We'll check the next assignment. So that's free writing. So you free write on stereotypes. Next, we're going to the study questions. Okay. So here we go. Respect the text. And again, text just means whether it's an article, a TED Talk, a speech, a television show, a movie, we're just looking at it as a text, whether it's spoken or written. That's our text. Mostly we're going to be writing about the written part of it because you'll always have that. So when you go to this assignment, you should be able to click on the TED Talk and you'll see there's the danger of a single story. Here's the text, the written text, and then here's the TED Talk where she begins to do her talking. All right, so you watch that talk, read the transcript, and then answer the questions. Okay, and then the questions, let's see where they are. I have to go back. Once I've linked to it, I think I have to reload. Okay, here we go. I'm trying to go as quick as possible so that you can watch these Zoom recordings without dying of frustration. Get to the point. Okay, danger of a single story. So you're going to answer these questions. What are the unintended consequences of Adichie's love of British literature? She reads all these books that are British, and she's a woman of color, and she's from Nigeria, but she grows up to believe that that's who gets to be in books are people who are blue-eyed and blonde, just because that happens to be the content of the books that she's reading. So it's an unintended consequence. There, I gave you the answer. Anyway, so you're going to read those, and then you're going to, hopefully, you're going to have it on a Google Doc. You can copy and paste the questions if you want to. That's always a little bit more helpful if I can see the questions again. So just copy and paste, put it on a Google Doc, answer the questions. Now, if you don't answer the questions or you answer completely incorrectly, that suggests you haven't read it or you don't understand it, then I do have to take off a little bit of points. But again, I'm not going to be grading you on, what you, your grammar and all that sort of thing. If I say anything about grammar or sentence joining or any kind of technicalities of writing, that's just to help you in the future. So make sure, everyone, I'm a little hamstrung in showing you what happens on an assignment because I don't want to pull up somebody's assignment without their permission. So if anybody of you want to text me, email me that it's okay to show your work, then I can show you. There are instructor comments that you really need to see. If you've successfully submitted Google documents, I am editing. Remember, I have to be the editor. I can make comments right on the document as if I was writing on your paper. Old school. So make sure, let's get that situated, get it handled. A lot of you, not a lot, but a couple, as I said, you didn't put it on editor. And then a couple of you, just one or two, I can't even access it because it isn't shared properly. I'm not quite sure what went on. So there you go. All right. So there we go. I see some emails from a couple of you. I'm going to go read those. You should be all very good to go. Keep doing your assignments, and let me just warn you a little bit. The assignments in the beginning are pretty easy. We're going to be reading, writing, writing. And I'm not going to be dinging you for any kind of, technical difficulties, but that's all geared up to give you practice and content about which to write your essays. So that's going to go on for a while. We're going to do loose writing, free writing. Then we're going to say, well, how would you summarize this text? And that seems like common sense, but there's actually quite a few rules and techniques and kind of an art to it. So we're going to practice the summary because that's part of your essay. We're going to practice an introduction of an essay based on some of the texts as we go. A lot of them will be based on A Danger of a Single Story, which is your first one. That will be used for a lot of the practice exercises that will give you the building blocks of your essays, because your essays will be, in a sense, an introduction in the way that we describe it, summary according to the MLA rules in the way that we describe it. Again, there's all kinds of examples and instructions. And then what's called single point analysis or focus paragraphs that deal with one idea at a time. And those are the most difficult. And so we're kind of ramping up. So everybody stays very enthusiastic in the beginning. They're like, oh, I can do this. And then the summary gets a little hard. And then the analysis, you have to do a little bit more thinking. So hang in there and just do step by step. If you keep up and you pay attention to why we might be doing these exercises, and you sort of take it in a little bit more deeply than simply, I'm going to turn it in and get credit. If you're thinking about what we're doing and why, you'll be in good stead to write your first paper. Okay, so I'm going to unshare the screen. I already did that. Okay, so again, you can email me your questions and I will see you soon, or not see you, but hear from you, etc. And again, we can Zoom a little bit if we need to at a later time. Okay, take care, everybody. Stay well. Wear your masks. Mask up. And do your work. All right. My new motto is don't go down out of anxiety about going down later. Just keep going till you can't go anymore. That's my strategy. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right. Good luck.